A 6-run, sixth inning ends up being enough as the Padres pick up a really, really nice 6-3 win against the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field on this Monday evening. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. As we wrap this one up, we have got a lot to do, and we have a lot of good stuff to talk about on this Monday as the Padres pick up a series opening win at Wrigley Field. We will have all the radio highlights for you. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt and much, much more. We'll take your YouTube comments, your Facebook video comments, your Twitter video comments, your phone calls, your tweets, your DMs. Plenty on that coming up later as the Padres get a very, very nice win on this Monday at Wrigley Field. Really a game that I felt like had a late season type of feel to it. I know it's May 6th, but these are two teams that I think a lot of people now are expecting to be in the postseason mix when all is said and done. And this sort of had a late season type feel to it, especially in the late innings with what the Padres bullpen was dealing with the tying runs on base, the go-ahead run at the plate. We will get into all of it, but the Padres ultimately hang on. They have a big sixth inning, and they ultimately hang on for a 6-3 win here tonight at Wrigley Field. Before we get to everything, let's talk about what I think are three key parts of this win. And one part that could get overlooked in this game here tonight, the work of Yu Darvish, who was really, really good. 5 scoreless innings, 3 hits allowed, 1 walk, struck out 5 on 83 pitches, and matched zeros with Justin Steele through the first 5 innings. And it's notable because Yu Darvish now, since coming off the IL, has 10 scoreless innings in a couple of starts. So he has looked like the Yu Darvish you want to see the last couple of outings since coming off the IL. That was a big early part in this game in keeping it a scoreless game. So Yu Darvish, certainly a big role in this one, 5 scoreless innings. I think it starts there. Then the 6th inning for the Padres. Now, you could look at 6 runs on 6 hits in a span of 7 batters. You love it from the offense. They exploded. They got Justin Steele out of the game. We knew Steele would be on a limited pitch count tonight. He was coming off the IL to make just his second start of the season. So we knew if they could drive that pitch count up enough, you could get him out fairly early in this game. And to the Padres' credit, they did. He was at 68 pitches through 4 2/3 innings. So in that 6th inning, a scoreless game, and the Padres end up erupting for 6 runs on 6 hits. They scored 6 runs in a span of 7 batters. But it wasn't only the base hits that I thought was really impressive in that 6th inning. It was the way the Padres got him, the way they pushed the envelope. Remember, a single by Tatis, an infield single by Cronenworth, then the double steal sets up a 2-run base hit for Jurickson Profar. Just like that, it's 2-0 in a span of 3 batters. The aggressiveness continued. The hit and run with Profar on base, Bogarts at the plate, ends up putting runners at first and third with nobody out. Then another hit and run later in the inning with Bogarts and Solano at the plate. By the way, Donovan Solano, 2 hits in his Padres debut. He put together some really good at-bats. I just absolutely love the way the Padres were aggressive in that 6th inning. The double steal, a couple of hit and runs. I mean, trying to get your offense going in a scoreless game, and it worked to perfection. So if you're one of those fans out there that is always talking about hit and runs and pushing the envelope and trying to make things happen, force the issue, that 6th inning was for you. It was for you because the Padres did exactly that. And in the span of 7 batters, they had a 6-0 lead. Now, that was far from the end of this game. It was a tricky night for the Padres bullpen. They had guys coming in sort of all over the place. Yuki Matsui didn't have his best stuff tonight. Enyel De Los Santos ends up having to come in after the home run for Morel that made it 6-2. Finishes the 6th inning. Then De Los Santos ends up giving up a home run in the 7th inning to make it 6-3. Peralta has to come in, finish up the 7th inning, and then we go to the most critical moment and maybe inning of this game. In that 8th inning, Wandy Peralta starts it, walks the leadoff man. Jeremiah Estrada comes in the highest leverage situation he's had so far as a Padre. By the way, against his former team in Chicago, so you would imagine emotions are running high. He ends up walking the first guy he faces, gives up a single, and just like that, in what was a 6-0 game, the Cubs have the bases loaded, nobody out, the go-ahead run at the plate. Estrada, to his credit, and this should not get forgotten, strikes out Crow Armstrong for out number 1. And then Mike Shildt goes to a guy in Robert Suarez who says, give me the baseball. I'll go get you a 5-out save. And how impressive has this guy, Robert Suarez, been in the early part of 2024? Strikes out Yan Gomes, who's been absolutely crushing the Padres forever for out number 2. Gets a pop out from Nico Horner, inning over. Rally over. Padres still leading 6-3. And then Robert Suarez makes it look easy. A 1-2-3 9th inning, strikes out a couple, fly out to end the inning, and what do you know? With a 5-out save, 5 up, 5 down. How good Robert Suarez has been is a major storyline for this ball club in the first month plus of the season. Not just the great work on the mound. The numbers are outstanding, and I'll get into more of them a little bit later. The numbers, he's got a sub-1 ERA. He's 11 for 11 in save opportunities. He's been great in what he's done on the mound. But this guy's willingness to go the extra mile for his team in the first month plus of the year, this early in the season, it has made a difference in a number of ball games already. And my goodness, did it make a difference in this game here tonight. What would have happened in that 8th inning had Robert Suarez been unavailable to go get you a 5-out save? Do the Padres win this game? I don't know. But he comes in and he shuts the door in that 8th inning. And that guy, Robert Suarez, not only is he such a cool customer on the mound, and we saw it in 2022 in the postseason, but when you talk about the early season storylines for this team, in my mind, there's no doubt that Robert Suarez is right there at the top of the list as far as the great ones. Not only his ability to step into that closing role, he's been flawless so far, 11 for 11 in save opportunities, but to also have the willingness to do what he's done. That's the second time already he's had a 5-out save early this season. It's only May 6th. Now, the Padres got to be careful. You don't want to burn him out. You don't want to overuse him. We get all that. And by the way, with Randy Vasquez on the mound tomorrow for the Padres, look, they used a lot of arms today. So the rest of this series out of the bullpen could be a little bit tricky, but I totally understand why they did. They wanted to win this game. I get it. But look, I mean, Robert Suarez, you can't say enough. You can't say enough the early part of this season about what he's done and the willingness he's had to go get more than 3 outs and do whatever this team is needed. Terrific once again. And then he goes 5 up, 5 down to put the cherry on top. So this was a really nice win. Great job, I thought, in the 6th inning, pushing the envelope offensively, getting out to a 6-0 lead. Some tricky spots in the bullpen. Bullpen walked the tightrope there late, but then Robert Suarez again said to his team, said to his manager, Mike Shildt, hey, give me the baseball. 5-out save, 5 up, 5 down. And throughout the course of a season, moments like that, performances like that, can make all the difference. And a great win, I think, for the Padres here today in the series opener in Chicago as the Padres win it 6-3. A lot to do on our post-game coverage. When we come back, we'll have all the radio highlights for you. We will go back to Chicago, hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt, and much, much more to come. Again, the final, Padres 6, Cubs 3. Post-game show continues after this on the Padres Radio Network.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Hi, this is Jose Azocar. The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 station, 97.3 The Fan.
An Odyssey Sports Station.
Baseball season is finally here. Get ready for Major League winning when you join Valley View Casino and Hotels Players Club and receive over $100 in free instant offers. No strings attached. Visit valleyviewcasino.com to learn more today.
Another happy SafeLight customer.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
There I was, driving down the highway, and a rock flies up and cracks my windshield. Are you kidding me? I asked for recommendations, and everyone sang the same thing. Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace. I booked an appointment at safelight.com, and they came to me for free. It was that easy.
Cracked windshield? Go to safelight.com now to schedule your free mobile service and let Safe Light come to you. Conditions may apply.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
TimberTech is the #1 premium composite decking brand. It's got the beauty of real wood without all the maintenance. To get free samples or find a local contractor, visit TimberTech.com. TimberTech, everything wood should be.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola is the official smartphone partner of the San Diego Padres. And with the Motorola Razr Plus, fans can flip the script on how they keep up on game day. Check scores with ease on the largest external display of any flip phone, or flip open to an incredibly vivid 6.9-inch LED screen to stream games. Learn more about the ultra-modern, ultra-pocketable new Motorola Razr Plus at Motorola.com.
Fresher is better. Hey, it's Ben Higgins here for the Farmer's Dog, delivering fresh, real food. Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios as we wrap up a really, really good win for the Padres here tonight as they beat the Cubs 6-3 in the series opener in Chicago. Padres now 19-19 on the year. They'll have an opportunity to move above 500 tomorrow. And the Cubs dropped to 21-15 on the season. Appreciate you joining us on this Monday evening, wherever you might be tuned in from. We will get to your tweets, your DMs, your video comments, your phone calls coming up a little bit later. A lot to do before we get to that. But if you want to get those comments, tweets, DMs in right now, you can. Tweet at me or DM me at Sammy Lev, SAMMYLEV, with what you thought about tonight's game. You can also comment on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. Comment, and I see all your comments here on my fancy interface here. So we'll get to some of your comments as we go along here on our post-game coverage. Appreciate however you're tuning in, whether that's 3 FM, maybe it's on the Odyssey app, or maybe you're watching me. You can see my what I think is a very nice flannel I've got on today. You know what's weird? Now I actually think about what I'm wearing when I'm in the studio. Now, if you see me at the ballpark, you know, I always try to look nice. I got my shirts, my jackets. I try. Here in the studio, I'm going to be honest with you, the first 2 seasons, you know, I didn't really care. Nobody really saw me. But now, I mean, I could have millions watching the stream here. So I'm very conscious about what I'm wearing, what I'm looking like these days here on the video stream. All right, enough of my nonsense. An excellent ball game at Wrigley Field tonight. There's a lot to break down, a lot to talk about. Let's get to it.
What moments had the biggest impact on today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game recap on the Padres Radio Network.
We had an absolute pitcher's duel early on. Yu Darvish and Justin Steele matching zeros. Steele got through 4 2/3 scoreless innings on 68 pitches. He was on a pitch count in his first start off the IL. Meanwhile, Yu Darvish went 5 scoreless innings to begin his day. The Cubs did have opportunities against him, though. They went 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position against Darvish through 5 innings. So that brought us To the top of the 6th inning, still a 0-0 game. Left-hander Richard Lovelady was on from the Cubs bullpen. The Padres rallied. Fernando Tatis Jr. hit a bloop single. Jake Cronenworth hit an infield single. Then a double steal to put runners on second and third base with nobody out for Jerks and Profar.
Got a lot of ways to do something productive here. Profar hitting .357 with runners in scoring position. Grounds this one up the middle into center and a base hit. Fernando has scored. Cronenworth's on his way. Crow Armstrong's throw the tag, not in time. 2-run single, Jerks and Profar, and the Padres have the first runs of the night.
Padres weren't done. Right-hander Daniel Palencia came on for the Cubs. Xander Bogaerts then singled on a hit and run. Profar went to third base. There was still nobody out for the newest Padre, Donovan Solano.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Bogaerts runs and a line drive into center field and a base hit. Warner was going to cover the bag, couldn't reach it. Profar will come in and score, and the Padres get another as the running game continues to assist the hitting game here in the 6th inning.
The Padres kept the line moving. Ha-Sung Kim walked. That loaded the bases for Luis Campusano.
Bases loaded, nobody down. 3-0 Padres. First pitch to Campusano, rocketed down the right field line. That's going to go to the corner. That's going to clear the bases. Bogaerts has scored. Solano has scored. Kim is on his way. He will score a 3-run double for Campusano, and now a 6-0 Padre lead.
The Padres had 6 runs on 6 hits in a span of 7 batters. There was still nobody out in the inning, but all they would get, the 6 runs to take a 6-0 lead. Darvish was done after 5 scoreless innings. Padres then went to left-hander Yuki Matsui out of the bullpen for the bottom half of the 6th inning. There was a runner on base with 1 out for Christopher Morel.
Runner on second, 1 out for Morel. Swings at the first pitch. Skies one to deep left. Profar is back at the ivy, looking up, gonna go just beyond the basket into the second or third row in left field. Morel with his 8th home run of the season. A 2-run shot here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Padre lead is now 6-2.
Matsui would get 1 more out. Enyel De Los Santos finished the inning. De Los Santos stayed on for the bottom of the 7th. The Padres still leading 6-2 with 1 out. It was that guy again, Yan Gomes.
Here's the 1-1 from Enyel De Los Santos. That's hit in the air to left field. Unbelievable. Yan Gomes has done it again. About halfway up the bleachers in left. His 2nd home run of the year, both against the Padres. And now a 6-3 game in the 7th inning.
De Los Santos would get the 2nd out of the inning. Mike Shildt then went to Wandy Peralta. He allowed a double, a walk. Christopher Morel stepped in representing the tying run. Peralta got him to ground into a fielder's choice. The inning was over. Padres still led 6-3. Padres still had a 6-3 lead going to the 8th inning. Peralta walked the leadoff man. Jeremiah Estrada came in. He walked the first batter he faced, then a single. So the Cubs had the bases loaded, the tying runs on, nobody out, the go-ahead run at the plate. Estrada bounced back to get a strikeout for out number 1. Mike Shildt then got aggressive. He went to Robert Suarez for what would be a 5-out save if Suarez could get there. Suarez struck out Yan Gomes for out number 2. The rally for the Cubs was left up to Nico Hoerner.
Hoerner swings, pops it up. And a very shallow center. Kim backing up on the grass. He makes the catch. And the inning is over. No runs, a hit, and the Cubs leave them loaded. Go to the 9th at Wrigley.
Padres still led 6-3, going bottom 9. Robert Suarez back on the mound. Suarez struck out Talkman for out number 1. He struck out Happ for out number 2. The game was left up to Christopher Morel.
Right-handed batter. First pitch swinging in the air to deep right center. Long run Merrill. He gets there on the track to make the catch, and the ball game is over. Robert Suarez, for the 2nd time this year, collects a 5-out save, and the Padres take game 1 at Wrigley by a final of 6-3.
And not just a 5-out save, but 5 up, 5 down. Terrific work from Robert Suarez. The final score, Padres 6 and the Cubs 3. Padres again improved to 19-19. Cubs dropped to 21-15. Padres take this series opener. They're now 3-1 on this 6-game road trip. Yu Darvish, a deserving winner today. He improves to 2-1. Robert Suarez now a perfect 11 for 11 in save opportunities so far this year, and the second time already here on May 6th that Robert Suarez has picked up a 5-out save. Very, very impressive. Great win for the Padres here tonight as they beat the Cubbies 6-3 at Wrigley Field. All right, when we come back here on the Padres Radio Network, we'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Here's some post-game reaction, plus we have a lot to do. I do want to get to your phone calls, 833-288-0973. If you want to get involved on the phones, I'm also taking your tweets, your DMs, your YouTube comments. If you want to get involved that way, I will address lots of those a little bit later on. So we'll get to all that. We have a lot of daily awards to get to. A lot of your thoughts, my thoughts after a very nice 6-3 win for the Padres here tonight in Chicago. More after this on the Padres Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm a National University master's grad. As someone who thrives on connection, I was afraid an online school would make me feel alone. But the relationships I built with my classmates and advisors got me through. Today, I'm a board-certified behavior analyst.
It's your story. We're here to support it. Virtual mental health counseling and scholarships available. National University, supporting the whole you. Learn more at nu.edu.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber. Superchargers, headlights, and more. With over 122 million parts, eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Stay on your A game with all the parts you need at the prices you want. It's easy to bring home huge wins.
Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. And as we wrap this one up, really nice win for the Padres here tonight as they beat the Cubs 6-3. A lot to do on our post-game coverage. We'll have our daily awards, a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard coming up. I do want to get you involved as well. You can do that in a number of different ways, and we'll start combing through some of your comments. And if you want to get your phone calls in, we'll put you on hold for now because we are going to hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt in just a moment. Phone number, as always, 833-288-0973. Again, 833 288-0973, the phone number. If you want to get in line, we'll take your phone calls coming up. Tweet me, DM me on Instagram at SammyLev, SammyLev. If you want to comment on the video stream, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you're watching, you can do that as well. We'll start combing through those as we listen to Mike Shildt. But all in all, like we've recapped a couple of times now, excellent win for the Padres, I thought, here tonight. A game that had a real late season feel to it in early May. I really felt like that here tonight on May 6th with the way things transpired late, the tenseness of those late innings. I thought this had a sort of a late season pennant race type of feel. I really did in Chicago on what was a big crowd at Wrigley Field. So good win for the Padres here tonight. The 6-run sixth inning. Yu Darvish going 5 scoreless innings, and then Robert Suarez. You can't say enough good things about him once again. A 5-out save, 5 up, 5 set aside. He remains perfect in save opportunities. Now 11 on the season. All in all, a lot of good stuff to talk about from this game here tonight. Let's go back to the friendly confines at Wrigley Field in Chicago, and here's some post-game reaction.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Presented by Sinley Food. Spice up your culinary life.
Mike, you manufactured the heck out of that third inning there. What?
Six.
Yeah, 6. I'm sorry, the 6th.
Yeah, it's fun.
Just was that like one of your favorite innings of all the big innings you've had? Because you made that happen.
Well, I can't take a whole lot of credit for that. I give the credit for our guys, man. They were on point with what we were doing, and they picked the right counts to run on, and so I give the group a lot of credit. We've had a lot of big innings, and clearly it was a fun one because he did it in a lot of different ways. Like Ian Toddy starts off the inning, Crony with the great approach, go the other way, boom, double steal, infield in, profar, drives it through. Crony scores, and what I love about it is we don't stop, and then Bogey first to third, Solano first to third, who has some great at-bats tonight. And we get the base loaded, and Campy with a nice approach, everything. You had to hit everything the other way, but look where we got rewarded tonight by using the whole field. And so, it was a great inning for a big 6 spot.
How satisfying is that they do that against the drawn infield? Jurickson puts it up the middle.
Yeah.
Cronenworth, Bogarts take advantage of things.
Guys, in motion and holes open, and when you have guys that have back control and they're seeing the game the right way and seeing the field and using the, they have the right approach and they work on it. It's good baseball.
How big is Suarez?
Whew. Colossal.
Mm-hmm.
Is that big enough? Huge. Epic. I don't know. Epic might be a little out of the vocabulary, but that was tremendous. Listen, Darvish was fantastic, and we just weren't able to, for 2 homers and a base hit to right, we made it way more interesting than it really needed to be. We just, too many free passes. But Robert comes in with a slow heartbeat, in a big situation. We've got, 5 days rest for him, so clearly we don't want to do that consistently, but spot where he's been well rested, and it's good for Estrada to get that 1 out right before that, so it doesn't turn into a 6-out deal because we might have to back up Robert, but man, he comes in and gets Gomes and is able to get Horner and then get the side in the ninth to be efficient with his pitches. We talk about, hey, he gets 4 outs, 5 outs. It was the efficiency and then his ability to do that allows him to still have some gas at the end. It was huge.
Was that a hit and run on Profar?
On Bogey or Solano?
On Bogey.
No, it was a run and hit.
Okay, run and hit. Okay.
Yeah, so we start runners and guys know the counts, and Pro did a nice job of having a good feel for what was taking place, and he got in a hitter's count, and he felt like we could get him in motion. Same thing with Solano with Bogey. So it was a nice job.
Besides the command, what has been different with you since he came back?
I think you've got it. I think it is the command. I think it's the life to his pitches and the finish to his pitches. The fastball's got, the velocity that we've seen in the past with the life we've seen, and then the secondary pitches have, the right bite and then the consistency of where he's throwing it where he wants to. So he's in a really good spot.
Slider tonight had his most whiffs of any start this season. I mean, what do you see in particular with that pitch, and how does that play out the rest of the arsenal? How big is that pitch for you?
It's huge, you know. I mean, listen, you got to honor the heater, and then it comes out as a heater because he tunnels so well. And then you've got, you know, you recognize it at the end, it's just got that late depth. It's really good, you know. You see something like that, it's good for us.
How good did he get in, I think it was the fourth after the walk?
Yep.
Did you see him kind of turn it up a bit there?
I felt like he did, yeah. I felt like he was pretty turned up the whole game. But, yeah, he, you know, at the walk he went, he's like, you know, I got to bear down and make some pitches, and he did a tremendous job.
Again, with the innings where then they score and makes it a little closer. I know obviously you guys are not trying to do that, but any ideas, or I know you guys are addressing it? What?
Yeah, I mean, you know, listen, to something that we didn't normalize. It's something you don't have to typically normalize necessarily early, you know, in the spring training early in the season. Then we looked up and realized, oh, this is starting to be a little bit of a trend. And then it's like, okay, we got to discuss this. And we discussed it. And there's a lot of different things to think about. And it got to the point where, like, you know, because sometimes it can be like a thing, and you want to make it a thing. But it got to the point where it wasn't happening anyway a whole lot consistently, and, you know, second to last in the league in it. And so we've addressed it and we'll continue to address it. It's really, you know, you want guys to feel like they got to work too hard at it. It's just really going out and executing, and it's a team thing. It's a defensive thing. It's a pitcher thing. It's a attack. It's just go out and let's just get that first hitter, which I basically say every inning to start our defensive inning. Come on, go get the first one. And, you know, if you control counts, get ahead and ready to make the defense, then, you know, we're going to get on the good side of it. We just got to do it sooner than later.
Like, just Steele's kind of a unique pitcher with the two pitches, but how they move it different ways, just what you see from him tonight.
I thought he was really good. He was really good. This guy knows how to pitch, you know, and he's got the ability to put it where he wants to. He runs the ball in. He's got the ability to go to both sides, and he's got a good demeanor and feel for what he's doing and how he's doing it. He looks like he's in control of where the ball's going and what he's looking to do, and he did the ball really well. It was, you know, I know he's been hurt for a while, so that was a nice start for him.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt after a very nice win for the Padres here tonight, 6-3 over the Cubs. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios as we wrap this one up, and we still got a lot to do, a lot of breakdown from this ball game. You heard Mike Shildt talk about a lot of different elements of this game, a lot of good stuff to talk about like we've discussed for the last half hour or so. I do want to read through a number of your comments, your DMs here, mostly on Instagram here right now. We've got MK on Instagram DMing in saying, nail biter win at 19-19. 19-19 is the record right now. Feels a lot better than 17 in 19. Would have been 18-20. Important wins, MK says. Important wins to notch before the big series against the Dodgers, not to mention the Braves and the Yankees coming up. Need to work on the bridge to Suarez. Can't have him getting multi-inning saves too often. 2 points with you, MK. Number one, look, the Padres still have 2 more games in Chicago. You just want to win series at this time of year. So the goal should be win at least one of the next 2. You'll take a 4-2 road trip, certainly get back home for a tough series against the Dodgers coming up, and we've talked about it at length before that the schedule for the Padres is tough, really, until about early June. There's not much let up in the schedule, so you're right. Picking up wins when you have an opportunity like they did here tonight will continue to be important. As far as the bridge to Suarez, look, throughout the early part of this year, that bridge has been a little bit of a rocky journey at times. Tonight it was sort of that way. Yuki Matsui didn't have his best stuff. Gave up the home run. Aniel De Los Santos gives up a home run. Wandy Peralta ends up getting the final out of the 7th inning in a big spot. Good job by him there, but he did give up a double, a walk before that, then ends up getting out of that 7th inning, walks the leadoff man in the 8th inning, so he was a little bit up and down today. Estrada, same sort of thing, a walk, a single, but then he got a big strikeout to get the first out in that bases loaded, nobody out situation, and then Robert Suarez has just been lights out. So he's saved the bullpen a few times here. Tonight was a good example of that. But MK, to your point, yeah, there have been nights where it hasn't been the easiest path to get to Suarez, but there have been nights where it has been as well. So look, it's been, I think, a lot of good for the Padres bullpen, some shakiness in there, but I think on the whole, the bullpen's been pretty good so far. We've got Javier DMing in saying, great all-around road win for the Fighting Friars. Darvish looked good showing his experience at Wrigley. Our offense keeps showing explosive innings of over 5 runs. And to top it off, Campy, amazing. Yeah, big 3-run double for Campusano tonight. Ended up being a really big deal. Scott saying Suarez is 3 fire emojis. We're starting to fire on all cylinders. Welcome Solano, Campusano, and Profar doing their thing. Look, I will say this. When you go back to the 4-game win streak, Padres, by the way, have now won 5 of 6. Look, they're sitting at 19-19. They're 500. So I don't want to get too over the top with it. But I do feel like from an offensive perspective, yeah, they seem to be firing as much on all cylinders as they have this year. Playing a little bit more from ahead as well. And look, you look at the lineup, no Manny tonight, but you look at the lineup and with a rise, and man, Solano tonight was impressive. Again, that's what you thought you'd get from him. Quality at bats. He had 2 hits. He had an RBI base hit in that 6th inning. Makes it a much longer lineup. So a lot of good stuff from the offense as of late, and the Padres have won 5 of 6. And look, we talked about it pregame, and we'll continue to talk about it. When you get good starting pitching, it makes all the difference in the world. It just does. And here tonight, Yu Darvish, despite the Padres not scoring for the first 5 innings, puts up 5 scoreless innings for a second straight outing. They got Steele out of the game. Steele was great. You know, that's good for Cubs fans that he returned to form after a stint on the IL. But they got him out, and then they pounced on the bullpen, and they made a lot of things happen in that 6th inning. So, look, 5 out of 6, you'll take it, you'll run with it, and now hopefully the Padres, at the very least, win one of the next 2 games. Tomorrow won't be easy. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres, and then you have a bullpen that was used very heavily today. And remember, even though it was sort of a lopsided loss yesterday, you had to use Brito and Kolek. Peralta's now pitched 2 days in a row. Shota Imanaga on the mound for the Cubs tomorrow, the lefty out of Japan. He's been good in the early part of his major league career. So tomorrow's tough. Then another good starting pitcher who's off to a good start, Hayden Wesneski on the mound for the Cubs on Wednesday. You do have Dylan Cease on Wednesday. My point being, this is not an easy couple of days coming up. So the good news is you've won the first game of this series, check, and now you try to at least win one more. To me, that's what you should be focused on. Winning one more, you take 2 out of 3 in Arizona. You hopefully take 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. 4-2 trip, day off, get back home to play the Dodgers. I think you would take that. If you can do more than that in Chicago, great, awesome. We'll see what the Padres do over the next couple of days. We'll come back with much more. I'll continue to read through your DMs, tweets, video comments. If you want to comment on YouTube, I'll get to some of those coming up in a little bit. If you want to get a phone call in, phone number is always 833-288-0973. Again, the phone number, 833-288-0973. If you want to chime in that way, as the Padres beat the Cubs tonight 6-3. More post-game coverage after this on the Padres Radio Network.
The San Diego County Bar Association offers a public service to assess your need for a lawyer. You will receive 3 references to qualified attorneys, each of whom will provide you with 30 minutes of legal consultation without charge. Visit needalawyersandiego.com to learn more.
Looking for a great deal to be a Soapy Joe's member? For a limited time, join any wash club level for the price of a single wash. It's the perfect way to keep your car looking great while saving money. Don't wait. This offer won't last forever. Visit SoapyJoe'sCarWash.com to learn more.
If you love your meals with a taste of exploration, check out the Latin Flavors event at Ralph's. Embark on new culinary adventures with vibrant tastes and fresh possibilities, with Latin-themed inspiration and palate-pleasing recipes available in store and online. It's the Ralph's Latin Flavors event, now through May 7th. We hope to see you there.
Save on fresh produce, too. Jumbo avocados are on sale for $1.49 each with your card and digital coupon. Ralph's, fresh for everyone.
paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of $10 Gold Liberty coins from the late 1800s to early 1900s has been found. These gorgeous Gold Liberty coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available in any specific date. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a specific date Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These historic dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That's anywhere from 117 to 144 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-386-8018. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $50 value free with every order. Call 1-800-386-8018 now to secure your $10 Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-386-8018.
You know a spot, but not just a spot, the spot. Actually, with the 2023 Nissan Frontier, you know a bunch of them. But the key to these great spots? Being able to reach them in the first place. Your spot is out there. Find your Frontier in the 2023 Nissan Frontier with standard 310 horsepower, advanced tech, and 281 pound-feet of torque.
Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. As we wrap this one up, Sam Levitt, I already said that with you here inside the studios post-game. The Padres win. It's got me giddy. 6-3. The Padres beat the Cubs here tonight in game one of this three-game series. We've done a lot of good stuff already here on the post-game coverage. We've had the radio highlights. We've heard from Padres manager Mike Shildt already, and we've given you a lot of thoughts about this ball game. We will get to some of your phone calls here coming up in a little bit. 833-288-0973. Again, 833-288-0973 as we continue to break this one down. Man, there was some really good work out of the Padres bullpen here tonight. Let's tell you more about it once again with our relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher was able to come in and slam the door shut? It's time for the relief pitcher of the game in support of the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank, providing food assistance to local children, families, and seniors in need. To get help or give help, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org.
Right-handed batter. First pitch swinging in the air to deep right center. Long run Merrill. He gets there on the track to make the catch, and the ball game is over. Robert Suarez, for the second time this year, collects a 5-out save, and the Padres take game one at Wrigley by a final of 6-3.
No doubt about it. Robert Suarez, our relief pitcher of the game, and I'll give you a little preview. This will not be the last award that Suarez gets here tonight. So I'm going to save it, getting into what Suarez has done this year, how impressive it is as a whole. But Robert Suarez comes in the 8th inning, bases loaded, 1 out, the go-ahead run at the plate for the Chicago Cubs. Gets 2 batters in a row, comes back out for the 9th inning, a 1-2-3 frame, a 5-out save, 5 batters faced, 5 batters retired. Really, really impressive work. It continues for Robert Suarez. All right, let's get to some of your phone calls. Phone number is always 833-288-0973. Let's lead things off here tonight with Tom calling in from Mira Mesa. Hi, Tom. You're on the Padres Radio Network.
Hi, Sam. I go by Uncle Tommy, if that's okay.
All right.
Hey, I just, it's been interesting to see how Shildt is trying to get the bullpen so that we have, a starter can go 5, then we've got our 6th, our 7th, our 8th, and our 9th. Last year, I think Bob couldn't bring Hader in the 8th inning. There was like something in his contract or something. So the fact that Suarez can come in the 8th, and when he does, he just locks it down. Oh my gosh, it feels so good. Now we just need to figure out how we can get that lineup. I know he's been working with De Los Santos and Peralta, and I don't know, man. I want to believe in Peralta, but it just seems like when we start off with a leadoff walk, it makes my skin crawl. I kind of felt like here comes another Colorado game where we're going to give up the lead in the eighth. But it was great to see all those strikeouts by Suarez and coming out with a victory in game one. I'm really looking forward to this series.
Yeah, look, Tom, it was a really, really good win. There's no doubt about it. And, look, Peralta's been a little bit up and down. And to your point about Suarez, and look, I think with Wandy, he's a veteran left-hander. There has been a lot of good in what he's done. There's been some shakiness as well. There was some shakiness here tonight. But look, there's no doubt about it. To me, Robert Suarez, he has been one of the really, really good early storylines of this season. I mean, what he continues to do, and I'm going to save it a little bit because we're going to get into Suarez in our next segment, and so stay tuned because I'm going to really dive into the numbers and what he's done so far, and I talked about it a little bit earlier, but there's no doubt about it. I mean, what this guy has done and his willingness to go get more than 3 outs this early in the season. Now, on multiple occasions, not that you want him to do that all the time, but it has been really, really, really impressive. So great stuff, no doubt about it, from Robert Suarez. He continues to be absolutely terrific. So good win for the Padres here tonight, 6-3 as they beat the Chicago Cubs. Let's take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard.
Let's take a trip around the Bigs and tell you about the scores you need to know in our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Meat, where great taste meets integrity.
We take a look at scores from around the major leagues, what's going on in baseball here tonight. Games going on right now. Rangers ahead of the A's 3-2 in Oakland in the 8th inning. Dodgers ahead of the Marlins 6-3 in LA in the 5th. Those are the 2 games still going on right now. The other games going on, Phillies beating the Giants earlier today 6-1. Bryce Harper a 3-run home run in that game. Guardians beat the Tigers 2-1 in Cleveland earlier. Pirates beat the Angels 4-1 in Pittsburgh. Rays beat the White Sox 8-2 in Tampa Bay. It was the Royals 3 and the Brewers 2 in Kansas City. Twins beating the Mariners 3-1 in Minnesota. Mets beating the Cardinals 4-3 in St. Louis. Brandon Nimmo a home run in that game for the Mets. And that's a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Monday across the major leagues. All right, we'll step aside here on the Padres Radio Network. If you want to get a phone call in, 833-288-0973. You can do that. Again, 833-288-0973. Again, the final score here tonight, Padres 6, Cubs 3. More after this on the Padres Radio Network.
Padres fans, the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank and its North County Food Bank chapter need your help. The food bank is feeding nearly 400,000 people every month in communities throughout San Diego County. Host a food drive, sign up to volunteer, or donate online at SanDiegoFoodBank.org. Every dollar donated provides 2 meals. Thank you for helping the food bank feed local children, seniors, and families in need. To learn more, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org.
For 70 years, Sid's Carpet Barn has been San Diego's leader for high-quality flooring at the lowest possible pricing. For a huge selection at everyday lowest prices, visit any Sid's or SidsCarpet.com.
Sid's Carpet Barn, come on down, come on down. Yeah.
At Hamul Casino, nothing is more important than fun. And fun means lots of action at the tables and slots, live entertainment, amazing food and drink, and thrilling giveaways. Plus, we're the closest place to play. Hamul Casino. Fun.
Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios as we wrap this one up. Really nice win for the Padres here tonight as they beat the Chicago Cubs by a final score of 6-3. If you want to squeeze a phone call in, you can. 833-288-0973. The phone number to call as always. If you want to tweet me, DM me your thoughts about tonight's game, I will continue combing through those. Let me take a quick look through the YouTube comments here because I feel like I've been neglecting the YouTube comments. We've got somebody saying here, well, you know what? Let's show this comment. We've got this comment. The Cubs lineup is just not that good without Bellinger. We should expect to win all these games. We will get to Imanaga tomorrow. Expect a sweep until they prove they can beat us. It's very confident. Look, there's no doubt about this. The Cubs are without Cody Bellinger and Seiya Suzuki right now, so it's a weekend lineup. Now, sweeping this team on the road will be hard. If the Padres do it, that's awesome. I would say focus on winning one of the next two, winning a series, having a 4-2 trip, and going from there. But hey, a sweep would certainly be the cherry on top. Let's see if we have any other comments here to get to. We've got so impressed with Suarez. I really doubted him TBH after last year, but him and Profar really leading the charge this year. I'm going to get into Jerks and Profar here in a second. He continues to be great, but that's a Sand Cactus Man with the comments on YouTube. Yeah, Suarez has been great. Look, he had an up and down season last year, had the injury, you know, some nice stretches, some struggles as well for Suarez, but man, he has been so good. I mean, you can't say enough. So I'm going to focus on two guys here in our final segment. Primarily, it's going to be Profar and it's going to be Suarez. Let's talk about Suarez a little bit more as we tell you about our player of the game.
Which player had the biggest impact on today's game? Let's find out who is today's player of the game. Presented by Valley View Casino and Hotel. Catch every game at Patties and Pints. Plus, enjoy $4 beer every Thursday. Visit valleyviewcasino.com today.
Our player of the game here tonight, Robert Suarez. And that's not my pick. That was your pick. I put up a poll on Twitter. Gave you 4 options for player of the game tonight. Yu Darvish, Luis Campusano, Jerks and Profar, or Robert Suarez. And with 69.3% of the vote, it was a quick poll. I only kept it up for 10 minutes, so we only had a little bit under 300 votes. But even with that, Suarez, by far and away, the runaway winner, selected by you, the fans, as our player of the game. I agree. That's how important what he did, especially in the 8th inning, was. So Suarez, our player of the game here tonight on the Padres Radio Network. And I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I think it's worth bringing up again just how good Robert Suarez has been. Here are the numbers so far. An 0.59 ERA in 14 appearances. He's a perfect 11 for 11 in save opportunities. He's got an 0.72 whip, 143 opponent batting average. But beyond even those numbers, being a perfect 11 for 11 in save opportunities, the thing that may stand out even beyond that, he had a 5-out save on April 3rd at home against the Cardinals, and he had a 5-out save here on May 6th against the Cubs in Chicago. That is now 2 5-out saves. And by the way, he also had a 4-out appearance on April 12th. In L.A. against the Dodgers. That was a big appearance for him in a game the Padres won in L.A. His willingness to go get more than 3 outs this early in the season multiple times, couple of 5-out saves already, it speaks volumes about him, about his mindset. I mean, you can't say enough good things about what Robert Suarez has been. And tonight I thought was arguably his finest performance of the year because of what he came into in that 8th inning. It felt like that was the game right there. And when you have a closer that is willing to come into a game and your manager says, hey, can you get me 5 outs? Can you get out of this jam? Bases loaded, 1 out. Go ahead, run at the plate, and then go get me 3 more. And Robert Suarez says, Skip, I've got you. It's a big deal. I mean, who knows what happens if Robert Suarez isn't willing to go get a 5-out save tonight? What happens in that 8th inning? I don't know. Do the Padres win this game? Do they hang on to the lead? I don't know. But it didn't matter because Suarez did what he did. And that has been just a wonderful development the early part of this season. Again, not just the results. He's been awesome as far as just the results. An 0.59 ERA, 11 for 11 in save opportunities. But he has been tremendous. We have a comment here from Jeffrey on YouTube. Jeffrey saying, I do think it benefits we have already paid the man, but I think he would have done it before his contract. And I kind of understand what that's getting at, right? Which is, Josh Hader and everything that transpired last year with when he would pitch, the unwillingness to go more than 3 outs. I don't want to rehash the whole thing because at this point it doesn't matter. Hader's moved on to Houston where he struggled quite a bit so far, but it doesn't matter for the Padres at this point. Look, I don't know, I don't know if Robert Suarez doesn't get the contract, what he says in these situations. But here's the bottom line. The Padres did give him the deal after 2022, and they kept him here for a long time. And when they did give him the deal, the thing we said about it was, well, this sort of appears like it's setting up for when Hader is gone, Suarez can be your 9th inning guy, can be your closer. And to this point, we've got a long way to go, but to this point, it's worked beautifully. And he has been terrific. And yeah, they paid him. And you know what? To his credit, they've paid him. And he said, I'll do whatever you need me to do. And he does deserve a lot of credit for that. We've got a long way to go, but the early part of this season, he has been absolutely terrific. Padres win it 6-3 over the Cubs here tonight. Let's hear our play of the game.
What was the crucial play that determined who came out on top? This is today's Play of the Game, presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Got a lot of ways to do something productive here. Profar hitting .357 with runners in scoring position. Grounds this one up the middle into center and a base hit. Fernando has scored. Cronenworth's on his way. Crow Armstrong's throw the tag, not in time. 2-run single, Jurickson, Profar, and the Padres have the first runs of the night.
Jurickson, Profar, our play of the game here tonight. The 2-run single that broke a scoreless tie in the 6th inning. That sparked the Padres to go on for a 6-run 6th inning. They scored 6 runs in the span of 7 batters in this game here tonight. Just terrific stuff in that 6th inning. I talked about it earlier. It wasn't just having 6 hits in a span of 7 batters and scoring 6 runs. It was the double steal. It was the hit and run. It was another hit and run. I love the way the Padres pushed the envelope, forced the issue tonight. Very aggressive. I liked it. And Jurickson Profar had the base hit that gave the Padres a lead, and they would never relinquish their lead here tonight. So for that reason, you could have picked the Campusano 3-run double, certainly, but I went with Profar. And it also gave me a good opportunity here to talk a little bit about Jurickson Profar before we wrap things up. So that's part of the reason I selected Profar for play of the game there. Let's talk a little bit about Jurickson Profar. I'll update these for you tomorrow, but entering today, this was before Profar had the 2-run single, 1 for 4 today. Excuse me. No, he was 1 for 4. Azokar came in later. 1 for 4 today, 2-run single, run scored in this game. Here was where Jurickson Profar entering today ranked through 37 games. A .344 batting average, that ranks 6th in the majors. A .430 on base percentage, tied for 2nd in the majors entering today. And a .963 OPS, tied for 6th in the majors entering today. That's top 10 in average, top 10, really top 3 in on-base percentage, and top 10, really top 6 in OPS. I mean, he's having, and he's shown no signs of slowing down. That's the thing. It's not like he's slowed down at all. He just continues to play at this kind of level. Today, another good example with the base hit in the 6th inning to get that inning started, get the scoring started. He's been tremendous. I mean, Jurickson Profar is playing like an all-star. Seriously. Now, will it last throughout May? Will it last throughout June? Will it last into the summer? I don't know. In baseball, typically, things tend to come back down to earth at some point. Okay, we understand that. Usually it happens. But this is no longer a small sample size. I mean, we're almost at 40 games in. And Profar has shown no signs of slowing down. So look, whether it lasts at this level or not, or he just continues to play well, but not quite this well, doesn't matter. He has been so good, and he deserves a lot of credit for that. He really does. The Padres have got so much out of the deal already. So credit to Jurickson. We knew what he brought to the clubhouse, but what he's done on the field so far, it has been absolutely tremendous and certainly a big, big part of this 6-3 win for the Padres here tonight. All right, taking a look ahead to tomorrow and the rest of the series before we get out of here. Tomorrow, same time, same place. First pitch at 4:40. Pre-game coverage begins at 3:40. Right-hander Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres. It'll be left-hander Shota Imanaga on the mound for the Cubs. Very talented lefty out of Japan. Vasquez for the Padres. Imanaga on the mound for the Cubs. Again, pre-game coverage begins at 3:40. Certainly hope you can join us then. Just a programming note for you so you know what's coming up in the next couple of days here. Remember, we do have an early game on Wednesday. It'll be an 11:20 a.m. first pitch on Wednesday. Pre-game coverage on Wednesday will start at 10:20 a.m. Right-hander Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres. Right-hander Hayden Wesneski on the mound for the Cubs. So hopefully you can wake up with us on Wednesday, 10:20 a.m. pregame coverage. Little Padres and pancakes, as we like to call it here on the Padres Radio Network. Certainly hope you can join us then. Love that Padres and pancakes, I'll tell you. Although I will say, I this morning, I got my cup of coffee, as I usually do, and I went for a breakfast scone. I've never had a good scone in my life. I mean, I can't find a good scone. So, I don't know, maybe a Padre player inside the clubhouse can introduce me to a place that serves a good scone. I know Joe Musgrove, Jake Cronenworth, they're big coffee guys. Maybe they know a coffee shop, a breakfast spot that has a good scone. You see Jake Cronenworth walking around the clubhouse with a scone, I might say, hey, Jake Cronenworth, can you tell me where you got that? Sconenworth. I don't think I was trying to do something for the morning show. I think I messed it up. All right. Anyway, tried to sneak it in before I left. Sconenworth was the joke we made earlier today. All right. I think I messed it up. That's why I don't do comedy, right? That's why I don't do comedy. Keep it simple here on the postgame show. All right, final totals here tonight for the Padres. 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors. 5 left on for the Cubs. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They left on 10. Winning pitcher, Yu Darvish. He's now 2-1. Losing pitcher, Richard Lovelady. He's now 0-1. The save goes to Robert Suarez, his 11th of the season. Time of game, 3 hours and 1 minute. And the crowd at Wrigley Field in Chicago, 35,560. That'll do it for our post-game coverage. I am never talking about scones again here on the radio. For our great studio coordinator, Jeff Hamby, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night. Again, the final score here tonight, the San Diego Padres 6 and the Chicago Cubs 3. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Padres Radio Network. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for today's game. For the best coverage of the